Hey, what's up, everyone? This is David Greenspan, and you are listening to the MindShare podcast, a proud member of the Industry Syndicate Media Network. Additional podcasts are available at industrysyndicate.com and mindshare101.com. This week's episode is sponsored by Kit's Keep in Touch Systems. This is episode 42. So often these days we hear about the term value. We hear about the fact that we have to deliver value. In fact, I remember, way back before I started getting my keynote speaking spots, that I would be asked, Dave, what value do you provide? Now, before fully thinking that through, I would typically respond with some quick salesy type of answer, and lo and behold, before I started booking a lot of my sessions, I was turned down for many more. I obviously didn't really know what it meant to provide value, but I kept at it. I hear from other people, you have to share your story. And again, I wonder to myself, what do they really mean? You see, it's not until you ask the questions and trip over yourself time and time again that you start to learn what not to do or what to do. That's where persistence comes in. You have to be persistent enough to hear no so many times, to be turned down so many times that ultimately you again figure out what not to do or what to do next time. As time went on, I personally began to find my voice, which I am definitely still learning more about each day, and I started to develop my own story, and I started to figure out where I'm truly making the most impact. Funny thing is, as all of this started to come together, I started to learn what provide value really meant. And this, giving value, providing it to others, being the conduit of great information which helps other people, this is what I try to do every single day. The thing is that when we look at the world we live in right now, with all this technology, with all these connection points, I look down at my phone and I can have dozens of messages on dozens of different channels. Email, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, text messages, phone calls. It is out of control. But again, it's the world we live in. So with all of that said, trying to break through the noise, it is harder than ever these days. So if you're going to try to do it, which you need to be trying to do every single day, you'd better have something good to say or share with me because quite frankly, we are all super busy. For example, if all you do is try to sell me on something, if all you do is personal promotion, if all you do is post up about your open houses, your listings, and what you might have just sold, the reality is, yes, you may be building mindshare that you are in real estate, but you have provided very little to no value. Actually, we do a poll on this with every single one of our MindShare Challenge participants, just prior to starting the challenge. And this is an awesome gamified learning experience where you're challenged against yourself and your peers. Although you won't know exactly who they are, you'll be able to see how you measure up to your competition every day. Should I be doing more? Am I doing enough? It's all about accountability and developing the right habits. See, we set a baseline for you based on what you currently do, and then we challenge you to even be more successful. The process has been engineered to work based on how we all operate. So with this initial measuring stick we ask all sorts of questions, some of which include what you like doing most to earn business, what you hate doing to earn business, and, where most of your business comes from. Then we share these results back with everyone so you can all use the information to better yourself. And that being said, one thing that I want to share from a recent challenge we recently completed was that most people saw the majority of their business from repeat and referral clients, from relationships and communicating with people. And I know you're thinking, obviously, Dave, that's where our business comes from. And yeah, I know. I've been saying this for years. But what we also learned was that most people hate hosting seminars and giving away free value. Now, that's where I have to draw the line in the sand right now, right here. This is really important that you understand this. No one wants to be sold, right? So if that's the case, and you get most of your business from people who know you, like you, and trust you, then what are you actually talking to people about? And hey, that's a rhetorical question. I can't actually hear you if you just answered that out loud. But you could be talking about anything. But when it comes to communication, it is all about the free value that you can provide back to people. That is what attracts people to you and your brand. That is what makes people want to know more, speak more, even work with you. Now, we've all heard this term WIFM. What's in it for me? When you're constantly posting up your listings and your open houses and your just solds on social media, for example, yes, it's good for your client and the advertising their home. Yes, it's good for you to showcase that you don't just have your real estate license, but like you actually sell houses. But what I want to know, what's in it for me? Where's the value for me? And this leads to my question I always like to ask you. Why you? Well, maybe you're sitting there thinking, well, okay, Dave, then what is value? What should I be posting? What could I be posting? And I'm glad you asked. Think about these 4 adjectives, okay? 1, educate. 2, inform. 3, motivate. And 4, inspire. Think about it. When I ask the WIFM question, how can you educate me today? Educate me about the market. Educate me about the neighborhood. Educate me about the local shop in my area. Or inform me about the events that are going on. Inform me about new housing rules. Inform me about services available to me in my area. Inform me about the local fair. Motivate me. This could be motivating me to sell by actually informing me about prices and educating me on the opportunities. This could be motivating me to be a better version of me. This could be motivating me to change my habits. This could be you being the one who helps me make that change that I need in life. And inspiration. Inspiring me to paint a new color on the walls in my home. Inspiring me to take a nice vacation. Inspiring me to get involved with helping others, such as participating in all sorts of awesome events. This is value. And those are just a few examples of how to provide it every single day. And although I sort of said social media a few moments ago as an example for where you can do this, do not isolate my message or the value that you provide to simply social media. When you walk out of the house in the morning, when you go grocery shopping, when you go to the mall, when you go do your extracurricular activities, be it for you or your family members, everywhere and anywhere you are, people should either know what you do or want to know what you do. And what I mean is, if they don't already know what you do for a living, either by seeing it firsthand or because they've seen your marketing in the past, then you should be easy enough to talk to, aka building a relationship that you get far enough into a conversation where they ask you what you do. You know, like I go to hockey and my friends are always asking me if I've been mind sharing today. And I'm like, hell yeah, I have. Of course I have. And I mean, it used to be funny, but now they just expect it. In fact, now they even want to wear my MindShare 101 hats. And now other people are helping me build MindShare. I hashtag it all the time. I wear the hats. I deliver the value consistently. I am passionate and obsessed about what I do. And now, that is how most people know me. Now, I get it. You're probably thinking, well, if I'm on vacation, I'm doing like, a 7-day resort and whatever. I'm sitting by the bar. I don't want to be telling people what I'm doing. I want to be on my own. I don't want people to know who I am. Well, that's cool. Maybe that's your 7 days or 10 days or whatever of relax time, of getaway. That's fine. But on a regular day-to-day basis, you need to be focused on what you do. You need to let the world know that you are passionate. This is who you are. So now, for me, less and less, and this works the same way for you, when I go in to do a presentation, do I have to tell people who I am and what I do? Not really. Instead, more people now, they all know all of that stuff. Why? Because I live it. I breathe it. I wear it on my hat. And people can feel that. So they resonate with it and they reciprocate. For example, on my end as the VP of Kids Keep in Touch Systems, I'm also the host of the MindShare Challenge Real Estate Training. I just want to add value through my MindShare 101 videos. And this right here, as you know, is the MindShare podcast. And even my presentations are all branded MindShare 101. Overall, I am putting a ton of content out to our industry every single day, just like we're doing right here, right now. And I'm just trying to bring light to topics that need to be addressed. And I'm doing it all the right way, simply by providing value. You see, the more value we provide out there, whether it is directly or somehow indirectly related to what we do for a living, the more people will gravitate to us. It's just human nature. And it will always hold true that this is a relationship business. And your goal, our goal, every day, although we do, or like you, want to listen and sell a house every day, but to get there, your goal every day is to build relationships. And for any of your social media to work, your lead gen to work, your referral business to work, it all has to be supported with another channel. You cannot be phone calls only. You cannot be email only. You cannot be video only. You cannot be social media only. Instead, you want to be using a cross-channel approach. One channel supporting the next, so it gets to a point where they just feel like they see you everywhere. And never, ever, ever think that that's a bad thing. The more they see you, the more they remember you. As long as you're real when you interact, and you're not some walking billboard who's constantly looking for the sale, then as human nature is, people will gravitate. We've talked about this recently here on the podcast, but none of this happens overnight. Go back to episode 37, where I interview the VP of Marketing for Century 21 Canada, where we discuss consistency and how important it is. Every channel helps you build the MindShare, and MindShare will always help you grow market share. So the next time you're on the phone with somebody, the next time you see someone in person, the next time you're going to send an email, a direct mail, any form of marketing that you do, before you execute and share with the world, ask yourself if it's going to do one or any combination of these four things: educate, inform, motivate, or inspire. You're either listening to this on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever podcasts are available, or maybe you went to industrysyndicate.com or even mindshare101.com. Wherever you like to consume your content, please rate, review, and subscribe. And if you haven't yet, connect with me on Facebook at MindShare101 and on Instagram at DavidGreenspan101. This has been another episode of the MindShare podcast. Thanks everyone for listening.